Title: Still Trying to Get Your Life Together? My ex-wife smirked at a brunch party. Moments later, the waiter handed me the check marked "Paid in Full." She smirked across the table, glass of mimosa in hand, her voice slicing through the soft chatter around us. Still trying to get your life together? A few heads turned. That's how she liked it. Public humiliation disguised as casual banter. I didn't flinch, I just smiled. The waiter slid the leather folder onto the table between us. "Your check, sir." Before I could reach, she snapped it open, ready for the final jab. But her hand froze mid-air. A single red stamp bled across the receipt. Paid in full. Then her eyes caught the name on the corporate card that had covered the bill. My name. Her smirk cracked, slowly, beautifully, as if realization itself was punishing her. And just like that, brunch was over before it began. We were a good story once. At least, that's what I told myself. She had ambition that burned like wildfire, and I was naive enough to think I could stand close without getting scorched. We built things together, a business, a home, a future, or so I thought. She was always the face of it, smiling for cameras, making deals, shaking hands. I stayed behind the numbers, the structure, the code that kept it all alive. She called me her quiet genius. I thought that was love. It was branding. The betrayal wasn't a single moment, it was erosion. Small, quiet lies stacked neatly until the truth couldn't breathe. The first sign? A contract I never signed, but my name was on it. Then a second. Then an account I didn't recognize. By the time I looked deeper, it wasn't about money anymore. It was about ownership. She'd rewritten everything. The company we built, legally hers. The house, transferred quietly before the divorce. My name, my work, my life's effort, erased. When I confronted her, she laughed. "You're better at building systems than understanding people." She wasn't wrong, at least not then. The months that followed were silent. I didn't fight in court. I didn't chase. I didn't shout. I just watched. I built something new, not from rage, but from pattern recognition. People are systems too, and she had habits, predictable ones. She liked shortcuts, vanity moves, partnerships that looked good in photographs. She'd always talked too much when she felt powerful, so I listened. Through her posts, her interviews, her investors' meetings, through the same technology I'd once built to protect our data. She never noticed I still had access, because she never bothered to change the infrastructure. She didn't understand the backbone of the empire she stole, but I did. I let her grow comfortable, let her think she'd won, let her believe I was broken, because she needed that version of me to feel whole. The first move was subtle, a quiet acquisition through a shell corporation, then another, and another. Each one targeted a small piece of her foundation, a vendor here, a distribution channel there. Her empire was a web, and I started cutting threads. It took 9 months. 9 months to build a new company, hidden behind layered entities, registered offshore, all feeding into one central name. Mine. By the time she noticed, it was too late. Her investors started pulling out, citing unexplained financial exposure. Her suppliers renegotiated contracts. Her biggest client switched to a more stable partner. She was bleeding quietly, publicly smiling through the pain. I'd seen that smile before, at our wedding, when she already knew she'd married me for leverage. When I got the invitation to the brunch, I almost laughed. Old friends, new partners, networking over nostalgia. She wanted to parade her victory one more time. I decided to let her. I arrived early, calm, tailored, not loud, just composed in a way that unnerved her. She scanned me when I walked in, eyes tracing the watch, the cufflinks, the posture, trying to measure what she couldn't quantify. I ordered coffee, waited. When she asked the question, "Still trying to get your life together?" it wasn't a taunt, It was a reflex. She needed me to be smaller, so I gave her silence. And then I gave her the bill. Paid in full, by her company's own corporate card, the one now owned by the parent firm I'd built under her nose. She didn't know yet that the new investor who had acquired 67% of her company in a friendly buyout last week was me. She didn't know her accounts were being audited, or that her signature on old falsified documents was already flagged. But in that 1 second, as her smile dissolved, I saw the first flicker of realization. She'd just paid for her own downfall. She stood slowly, forcing a grin. "This is funny," she said, though her voice trembled. "Not really," I replied. "It's just accounting." The waiter lingered awkwardly. She grabbed her purse and left, pretending she had a call. The table was silent after that. Just me, my coffee, and the ghost of a woman who once thought she was untouchable. In the days that followed, the fallout came fast. News broke about internal fraud and unauthorized asset transfers. Her board voted her out. Her name disappeared from the masthead she'd once stolen from me. She tried calling, once, then twice, then never again. I didn't block her, I just didn't answer. People think revenge is a storm, loud, chaotic, wild. It isn't. It's a quiet evening where the air feels lighter because you finally stopped pretending to be the victim. I didn't ruin her. I just returned the truth to its rightful owner. And as I watched her empire dissolve from the comfort of my new office, the same company she'd once called ours, I realized something simple. She taught me how to win by taking everything. I taught her what it feels like to lose it all, quietly. So when people ask how I'm doing these days, I just smile. Still getting my life together? No, I finished that a long time ago.